What is up, guys? Rice Vlogs back with another video. Thanks for clicking on the link and checking things out. Today I'm back with another video yet again of the Corolla hatchback build, but the only thing is it's not going to be much of an update to this point. The reason being is because on my previous video, 2 videos ago actually, I had a few people comment asking for some clips of the catback that I installed on the car, inside the car, maybe some more of outside the car, things like that. They want to get a better feel and sound for what it sounds like. So I was looking back through some of the footage that I had, and I actually did have some shots of me driving past someone holding the camera, a little bit of me talking and driving the car a little bit so you can hear inside the car. So I'm going to actually show you guys some of those clips now, and then from there, hopefully that'll better help anybody that's actually looking to do one of these kinds of installs. Of course, I could see from a dailyable standpoint, having just the catback and maybe that intake that I did as well would be a great upgrade, and nothing too crazy, nothing too loud, you know, nothing that's going to throw any check engine lights and stuff like that. So I could see where, you know, having just the catback and maybe an intake would be a great way to go for anybody that just wants to do a few mods to a car and not get way too, you know, over the top with things. So I'm going to show you guys some clips right now, and hopefully it's something that's going to benefit some of you guys. And make sure you drop a like if it does. Maybe comment what you think. Unfortunately, there isn't too much more that I can do from this point on for any sound clips and stuff, because, you know, the car has already made some kind of forward progress at this point. So of course, you know, at this point I'm going to have different kinds of mods that won't necessarily make it sound the same. But if you guys are interested in doing more, then stay tuned for that, and make sure you subscribe, maybe turn on the bell notifications, things like that, so that way you guys can see where this build's going to go, because it's definitely going to be a lot better than where it's at right now based on performance and just an overall tuning standpoint. So thanks again, guys. Now let's get it. Alright guys, so I have you in the Corolla with me right now. We're going to just take this for a quick little rip, get some inside sounds of it, so you'll be able to kind of hear a combination of the intake and the exhaust, and this is kind of my initial reaction to everything, see how it is. So yeah, let's just go for a rip, see how it is. Like, just first impressions, just kind of getting out of the driveway here and stuff, just keeping it under like 2,000 RPM. I can tell it really is quiet and doesn't sound like much of a change for a factory standpoint. When I first started it, you could hear a rumble in the back, stuff like that, but other than that, you know, nothing too crazy yet. A little bit of drone, but it's really nothing. It's like barely noticeable, just kind of that perfect taste of what I was looking for. When I get out of this little neighborhood back here, you guys will hear, once I kind of rip on it, you'll be able to hear that really open up, and we'll see how everything sounds once I'm actually ripping it. So really, you still actually hear the intake more than the exhaust, to be honest, inside the car. I don't know about outside, but yeah, definitely more just hearing the intake as it is than the exhaust. So it's still a really quiet exhaust the way that it's set up right now. Cruising right now at like 50, 4th gear, let's say, you know, with around 3,000 RPM. There's a bit of a drone, but nothing major at all. We're just coasting down this hill, but now if I went in, say, 5th gear, you know, now we're sitting around 2,200 RPM, a little bit quieter, just kind of feel a little bit of vibrations in the seat and stuff, but nothing major. Pop it in neutral and the car's silent again, so. I definitely am going to probably be looking into next as well as a short shifter, just because the throws on this thing is so long. So the rev hang too kind of makes it worse, but I think if I could shift sooner, I'd stay up in those revs and it would be alright, but the rev hangs kind of makes everything choppier, along with the shifter taking so long to get into that next gear. So that's definitely probably going to be another upgrade that I'm looking into. Alright, so as you guys could hear in that first couple clips there, I had the camera actually set up in a really good spot, mounted up on the headrest of the passenger seat right next to me. So you were able to be kind of centralized in the car. You were kind of able to hear, you know, the intake making any kind of noise when I really got on it, and then you could hear the rumble and the drone of the exhaust anytime that I kind of let off or was just kind of coasting, things like that. So it kind of really gave you a feel of where things and how things sounded throughout the drive. One thing I want to note though is, what I keep saying in the videos is you will definitely hear the intake over the exhaust inside of the car when having this kind of setup. So that's the InGen cold air short ram intake and then the Remark catback exhaust. So as far as that goes, like I said, you're going to have a lot more intake sound versus the exhaust. But outside of the car, you kind of get a really good mixture of both, just depending on where you are facing the car. So if the car is coming at you, of course, you're going to be hearing more of that intake sound versus when it passes you, you're going to hear the exhaust. So it's kind of a perfect ratio based on, you know, having all the different factors that it could be. This is kind of the perfect setup if you just want something subtle. So that is kind of where I'm going to stick with it. It's definitely a subtle setup, considering there is more you can do to make it a lot more loud, you know, have a lot more aggressive sounds and things like that. But for something more subtle and just to have some noise from front and back, this is definitely a good setup for anybody that's looking into it. Now I'm going to have some clips outside of the car. First off, I just have a few of me kind of ripping a corner, you know, in a slower area, just to kind of get some quick sounds of it. And in the first clip, you guys are going to see, I'm going to go past the camera, and then there's going to be a second clip. I'm going to come back, and right after me, there's going to be like a Mazda SUV that comes. I left that in there just to kind of show you guys what regular traffic sounds like compared to the Corolla at this point. Obviously, I'm kind of getting on it and stuff like that, but still, this is kind of the best scenario because I have a front to back comparison right here. So you're going to have me come through, you're going to hear, you know, all the noises, intake, exhaust, and then you're going to have just a car rolling through driving normal. So this is going to be the best benefit to anybody that kind of wants to be able to compare it to normal traffic. So really pay attention to that in the next couple clips here if you want to see and kind of be able to hear, you know, the differences between now and what regular traffic sounds like. And then I'm just going to have a few more clips going back and forth, and from there on I'm going to have another set of clips that I'll explain in a bit here. So alrighty, as you just heard, we had the Corolla doing some zips back and forth. You had that regular traffic comparison in that last video. Now, coming forward, we're going to have a few more clips outside of the car. I have a friend that was recording me, so he was able to kind of turn the camera, you know, keep a really good consistent follow, so that way you can get, you know, the entire sound. So when the car's coming at you versus when it's driving away. So it's a really good set of clips. The only downside, and the reason why I didn't use it in the past video, is because I am against a really tall, you know, close to the road brick wall that runs for the whole distance of the road that I was driving by. On the other side of that road, unfortunately as well, is like some sort of highway, so you can kind of hear at all times just road noise of cars driving past, which doesn't really hinder when the car drives through the frame and everything. But the thing is when you're driving past with the Corolla, you really get an amplified sound because of the wall. So all the sounds definitely sound way louder than they actually are on camera, you know. So in person, it's really not that loud driving down a regular street in certain instances, but if you're driving next to a brick wall like I am in this video, of course you're going to get a little bit more noise, just like driving through an underpass or something. So just so you guys know, kind of take note of that. So don't think that this setup is really that loud just because of this clip. It's really not. It just depends on who you ask. Of course, you ask a certain group of people, they may say that, oh my gosh, that car is obnoxious. But it's really not based on, you know, talking to anybody else. I'm sure you ask them, what do you think of this? You know, show your friends this video, send it to them, whatever, and ask them what they think. But I'm definitely telling you guys, it's really not too loud of a sound coming from the front and the back of the car. It's really just because of this brick wall being right next to the road. It's kind of amplified. So take note of that, and I hope this clip still helps you guys. Alrighty, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, and I really hope that this helped any of you that had questions or wanted more of an in-depth review of the intake and exhaust that I currently had on the car. So please let me know down in the comments if you have any more questions. I will definitely get back to you guys to answer any of them, whether it's in a whole nother video depending on what the question is, or maybe just some quick, you know, responses and stuff like that. But definitely keep showing the support, keep showing the love. It means a lot to me. I'm getting really excited about where this build's going, and I'm looking forward to the long journey that's ahead of us. So I'll definitely get back to you guys with more content. So please stay tuned, and peace.